Hello and welcome to another episode of Brew-time with me, Vincent Hung. On this channel I like to talk about things to do with personal and financial well-being. And on today's episode I'm going to talk about a date. No, not a date between two people, and no, not the fruit, but a date in the calendar. So what is this date? This date is the 5th of April 2022. And no, this isn't my birthday. And no, it's not my anniversary either, although it is close. But this date is the end of the tax year. For the first 5 years of my working life, I didn't know this date was significant. However, now it's one of the most important days in my diary. And that's because on this day, I set my tax year resolution. I'm not that into New Year's resolutions anymore, but I'm now into tax year resolutions. And here's the reason why. So let me explain. As long as you're 18 or over and you're a UK citizen, you can open up what's called a stocks and shares ISA account. What this allows you to do is to invest £20,000 every tax year, and any money that you make from that £20,000 is completely tax-free. So let's say you bought a fund or a stock and share, and that goes up in value. You don't have to pay capital gains tax on that. And let's say your investments generate you dividend income. You don't have to pay income tax on the dividends that you receive. So on the 5th of April this year being 2022 if you're watching in the future, that £20,000 limit resets. So on this day every year, I make it my goal to invest up to the £20,000 limit. And even if I don't reach that goal, it's still a good day because I know that the £20,000 limit resets and I can start all over again and put more money into my stocks and shares ISA account to invest. I'm always keen to fill up my stocks and shares ISA account up to the £20,000 limit because we're taxed on everything these days. So we have to pay income tax on the money that we work so hard for, and if we're smart with our money and have an investment property, we also have to pay income tax on the rent that we generate. And let's say we bought and sold a property for a profit, that is subject to capital gains tax. And even if we buy everyday products, we're paying VAT. So tax really is out to get our money. But a stocks and shares ISA account is somewhere where you can grow your capital and generate dividend income without paying tax in a legal and legitimate way. Now, people say there are two things that are inevitable in life, and that's death and taxes. So if there's a legal way to avoid tax, that's a win in my book. So if you watched to this point, I'm guessing that you're slightly interested. So it'll be a good time to ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel before I tell you which ISA account I have and why I like it. So an ISA is an individual savings account, and there are 4 different types. There's a cash ISA, there's a stocks and shares ISA, there's a lifetime ISA, and there's an innovative finance ISA. Now, I used to have a stocks and shares ISA account with HSBC. However, I found their platform to be slightly clunky, a bit outdated, and not very easy to use. Now, it might have changed by now, but so have I. I've changed over to Barclays. So now I have a stocks and shares ISA account with Barclays, and that's been great. It's been very easy to use. Any stocks or funds that I wanted to buy has been on that platform, and it shows me where my money's going and how it's grown or fallen over time. Now, there are a lot of different companies that offer stocks and shares ISAs. Even John Lewis have one, and I don't know how good that is, and I don't really have extensive knowledge of all the different ISA accounts to be able to suggest a good one. However, I consider this to be similar to dating or looking for a job. You really don't need to settle for the first one that you go with. You can shop around, try it out, and decide on one for yourself. I hope you found this useful, and if you're looking to get into investing and buying stocks and shares, I hope I've given you a good place to start looking and how you can do that. I found that the best way to learn was to dive straight in and to have some skin in the game. That's the way I learned. When I first opened up my HSBC account, I really didn't know what I was doing. The first company that I invested in was Morrison's, and I bought £100 worth of shares. And I sold that eventually for £80. But that £20 loss was a small price to pay for opening up the doors to investing and to start learning on how I can grow my money. If I've given you a warm fuzzy feeling to look into stocks and shares ISA accounts, please do, because it really was the best thing that I did for myself financially. You really can start with any amount like I did with £100. And if you do, I hope your £100 goes further than mine did. So please like and subscribe to my channel and follow me as I work my way towards financial freedom. And what I hope to do is to share the knowledge that I learn along the way with you on this channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next episode.